Well then, seems things are really starting to get a little bit more into situations that you normally do not understand. Or maybe I'm more like trying to say the second round is now there. The biggest question is though, can he win? Or can he not? Well, I'm not so really sure. I'm actually a little bit worried on what we're expecting here. But for first, I have to say, the long wait is finally over, and this is Ed and Sheryl chapter 93. Of course, because of the corona, it's very likely that this manga will also be delayed. We can't blame them. After all, everyone has to stay healthy, but I'm still wondering exactly what is going on or gonna happen. But enough about that. First off, the next in-depth character file is actually about Witch, and we finally learn her name. Yes, all the four-star Shrine Maidens have names. However, her name is strangely strange. Granted, sister was named Ivory, but that is nowhere near as strange as Witch Regret is apparently her name. She has a power of shield ether and element ether. She likes Eden Zero, dislikes intruders. She has a surprising 4 in attack, a 5 in defense. Granted, she's the shield, so of course. A 3 in marksmanship, a 5 in ether power, a 4 in intelligence, and a 1 in dog's impersonation. And let me tell you, that outfit she's wearing, does she look good. Now on to the chapter. Yes, it was indeed Amira who was discussing Labia. Of course, though, no one recognizes her because, well, only Homura saw her real life form. So she reveals the fake Homura body, and everybody immediately notices it. She brushes off their, well, anger abilities, saying that I show my true face so you can trust me. Shouldn't you trust me now as well? And she explains she is on a mission to destroy Drakenyo. And of course, the team is saying, does that justify what you're trying to do to us before, as well as to the people of Digitalis? And she just says it's part of the job. But you know what? I do not trust Amira a single bit. Yes, she has a very sexy, what is that? Cat suit? Or something like that. Not to mention a pretty open cleavage, but she reminds me a lot of a femme fatale, in my book at least. You know, those kind of types that looks very sexy but are more deadly. And either way, it turns out that yes, she did replace Labia, who was captured a long time ago. She thought that she infiltrated Drakenjol's ship by pretending to be one of the dancers. Then, when she saw that Labia was brought prisoners, she thought she could get deeper into Drakenjol's situations by trading places. So she did by trading their places and put the spoiled, shivering, and absolutely complaining Labia in the same club that she was for, and then banned her from, well, using the social net media. And of course, who finds her but Homura, who got here to, well, find a replacement of her clothes. And of course, the first Labia does is, of course, complain, saying that first someone captures me, then I get rescued, and of course, everything else. Even Homura is saying she doesn't know what is happening here. The fact that Labia was here makes me question, did that Labia we saw a long time ago, was that really Amira? Or is there just something about this, well, new timeline that has changed from the way Rebecca saw it? Because you have to figure out now, Amira has now heard every single thing that, well, the gang has said. And she's a spy. Yes, she wants to destroy Draken Yor, but if you ask me, I'm not trusting her. Isn't it very likely that she will betray the team, even when she's saying she wants them to be in an alliance? Um, Either way, is the fact that one of the reasons why she wanted to get close to Draken was to use her mirror face ability to change herself into Draken. Doing so copies people's abilities. No, sorry, it doesn't copy their abilities, but it does copy their memories. So she thought that if she did that to Draken, then she would be able to learn his weakness. And now the gang has found, and now thanks to the gang, she has found his weakness. The fact that he is clearly on some kind of life support. Also, there's a very nice picture here we actually see the backside of Amira sitting down. And given that extremely tight cat suit, we can practically see her ass. Now that is some fan service. There is it. Of course, the gang doesn't really trust her, but she just pulls one question, and that is, "Let's be friends." And of course, Shiki says that immediately. She mentioned in her mind she learned that by copying Homer's abilities. It's a bit pains me a little bit that Shiki's will to always become friends with someone is treated so negatively. Have you any idea how difficult it is to get friends these days? We're now even living in a world where we're all gonna lose jobs, and it's only 2 weeks before I lose mine as well. So come on, help people out. Don't mock people for that. But I got sidetracked. Still, though, the fact that Amira used this situation, we should not take this as a good sign. Not at all. Of course, though, things get a little bit interrupted when, even though they are planning on finding Draken's life support, suddenly Moscow gets trapped in what apparently is some kind of tar as Draken Yo appears. He's calling Glia tar. Giving his alchemy is very likely that he found them simply because he scanned for their ether power, or very likely also scanned for, Rebecca's cat leaper ability. And here comes the bigger reality of it all. Many people wondered, why isn't Rebecca more shaken up by everything? After all, she saw one of her first friends, as well as the person she took out to space, get killed by Draken Yo with a sadistic smile. So a lot of people have complained that she is not showing any signs of PST. What was it? PTD. Is that? Oh no, was it PTSD? Was that the name of the situation? But here she actually does it. She remembers Shiki's execution, and she shivers in coldness as he decides to take Rebecca right there now. But Shiki is having none of it, using his gravity power to scatter the floor as well as the entire floor and the tar when they all fall down. Shiki declares that he will take care of Draken. Rebecca is of course not as convinced. However, he grabs her hand and with a reassuring face says, "Your friends are all right here." That is a very heartwarming situation. Yes, you may complain about Shiki about friends and that. Not really, but... And also you may say that Draken is powerful. Not really, he's a villain, he's meant to lose. You still have to figure out things that Rebecca is scared. She saw a bad future. And yes, that bad future can still happen. However, that they were at complete disadvantage and they were split up. Now they are not so split up. Shiki knows everything what happened, and he's right here now. And he's saying it to her. Your friends are right here, meaning that as long as we are here with you, you have nothing to be afraid of. And he will never make sure that Rebecca gets cry again. So he pushes Draken Yo through the different floors, and they land ironically, or should we say fatedly, destinedly. Now there's no such word. Or maybe we should just say, and they land, which appropriately to destiny, in the exact same grounds where Draken Yo killed Shiki. He even calls it the execution site, because he practically guesses this is probably where he killed him in the last place. As he activates his alchemy, Shiki declares with a fierce face, "In this world, I'm gonna make sure no one makes Rebecca cry. The fight for survival has begun." Okay, that's basically this chapter. Big action, a lot of different things. Lebi has been found, but she has been found by Homura. There is still no Jin, despite the fact that, Homura practically destroyed Sylph right now. Well, I mean, she didn't kill her, but still. So it's very likely that Jin will defend Draken Yo's life support. I mean, there likely will be someone to defend that life support. Draken Yo does not strike me as someone who's dumb enough to leave it. Unless, of course, it's so very well hidden that only he knows where it is. Who knows? Yes, who the frick knows? The gang began to fall down, but shouldn't... I'm pretty sure Arsenal can save them. Because he did have a flight mode, right? Guess we'll see what happens. Either way, Shiki is now one on one with Draken. The biggest question is that going to be enough? According to a lot of people, no, it should not be enough because, well, alchemy can practically nullify anything. Still, though, it's in the situation. And I'm glad that the fight began. But it's still too soon to see if hope will win. It's basically this chapter. Spoilers actually came out 1 week before the chapter, no, 2 weeks before the chapter was released. The reason being that it was Golden Week, but I still was a bit upset that we actually did get spoiler and not the chapter. I thought we were gonna get the chapter last week and no chapter this week. This is one of the reasons why Golden Week always confuses me. We never know when it resumes working again. And most of all, now with the corona, schedule are probably going to be all over the place. But that's a story for another day. Give me your thoughts if you have any.